What is up, everyone? This is your head coach, Kuya, and for Smash Ultimate's Masterclass today, we will talk about the top 5 Swordies. This will be a profound guide on the top 5 Swordies to play in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Sword fighters or Swordies are a key population of this game's roster, so we will put the spotlight on the best of the best. First, we'll talk about our ranking criteria and what I value in a good Swordie. Then we'll talk about each of these 5 characters. We have Corrin, Sora, Roy, Cloud, and Aegis. And we will have a live Q&A section for our Discord class. But if you're watching this on YouTube, hello YouTube, feel free to leave your questions or comments and opinions down below and I will respond as soon as possible. And hey, if you're watching on YouTube, please consider subscribing because it'll help the channel a lot. It'll help us grow, and maybe we'll be able to get some giveaways in here if we get enough subscribers. Just a little hint there. So first off, our ranking criteria. What makes a Swordie great? First off, we have pressure and spacing options. So how safe and oppressive is your neutral game? Do you have a lot of moves that I have to respect as your opponent? Do you have a lot of moves I have to worry about? What does your move kit impose on me? Second is your disjointed hitboxes, because you're not really a sword character if you're not using your sword. How good is your range? How good is your buttons? And how good is your frame data? So not only like how safe are you on shield, but also how fast are you? Like, is your mobility good? Are you good in the air? Like, do you have good like movement speed in the air? Stuff like that. And lastly is your win conditions, or how many outs do you have access to? Most Swordies have a good time racking up damage just because like they have really great attacks. They don't really have that many combos. So knowing how you like to clean up stocks and finish up games is really important. If you're winning games but like it's taking you till, you know, racking up damage till 150 to finish off your opponent, that's not the best sign that your Swordie is that good, but you have a Swordie that could finish stocks at sub 100, or you have some setups that could really help you gain lethality. That's great. That makes your character really good. So in ranked 5, we have Corrin. So Corrin has very simple and effective combo games. So with fair, nair, and reverse up air, they're all amazing, great combo starters. There's also down tilt, which is a great grounded combo starter. And after you do your combo, your opponent's probably going to be launched in the air, so you could start juggling with up air, which is a great position for you to be in as Corrin. You have really great large disjoints that's really hard to punish. For example, your forward air is -4 on shield if spaced properly, and your back air is a huge hitbox, the dragon wings, and you even like kind of get scooted back by the wind box of the attack. So even if someone were to shield or air dodge that move, they might not be even far enough, or they might not be close enough to even hit you after you're out of the end lag of that move. You have a great recovery in my opinion, and you have really interesting burst range with pin. So if they're in that long mid range from you and they're in perfect pin space, you just throw it out and just mess up the tempo a little bit there. And lastly, you do have like a little bit of forward smash cheese where you hold the forward smash charge and you have that chainsaw hitbox that kind of keeps it in place for you to follow up with the actual forward smash. Plus, there's a tipper sweet spot on it that makes it really scary to get hit by, that could really send opponents flying at really low percents. If you want to pick up Corrin, I would recommend checking out Neo or Shattuck and watch their tournament playstyles just to get a little inspired. Corrin's not that popular in the beginning of Smash Ultimate, but now that the meta has kind of settled a bit and people have been learning more and more about the game, Corrin's been on the rise. In 4th place, we have Sora, who has terrifying IDJ combos. So right here we see the nair / fair loops, where basically you do an IDJ, which is an instant double jump. You hit them with either aerial 1 or aerial 1 then 2, and then you finish it off with a forward smash usually. And seeing a Bowser go from 57% to deleted It's terrifying. There's no other way I could put it. Even if you don't want to learn Nair loops or fair loops because it might be a bit too mechanical for your taste, you do a simple IDJ rising up air into an up B, and that could kill pretty easily at like 70 to 80%. And even if we take a step back, um, and without these advanced techniques that could be a little intimidating for new players, Nair and Fair by themselves can make very tricky aerial approaches for your opponent to deal with because you do have options to hit them with either Nair 1, Nair 2, or all three Nairs, and you kind of adjust your game plan based on what you see. So if you see that your opponent's shielding a lot, you do Nair 1 and Nair 2, and you drift away so that it's harder for them to punish you. Or you just do like Nair 1, fast wall, and grab them for holding shield too long. There's just a lot of options you could do with this character that's really impressive in my opinion. And not only that is impressive, but also you have really great special moves like your Fireball, Thunder, and Blizzard are all great projectiles in their own right. And you have a really good recovery with up B and being able to up B, then cancel it into three side Bs for extra distance. You just have a really good chunk of everything. The only thing that Sora might struggle with is like his floatiness and kind of low mobility. So it's a little awkward to deal with, but it's not impossible, and this character can definitely make it work. If you want to pick up Sora and you need someone to watch for some inspiration, check out Kameme and Deathspade. In third place, we have Roy, who has extreme speeds with his high initial dash, run speed, and fall speed, and all his aerials are -4 or -5 on shield, except for Dare, because no one's going to throw out Dare in neutral. Your Nair, forward air, back air, and up air are all super fast, so it's really hard for opponents to punish it if they're not ready for it. Also, you have extreme lethality with your infamous jab back air, aka Jair, where you do a jab, raw back air, and that kills at like 80% for, because Roy is so strong. Your side B and your F smash just delete stocks off the side as well if you hit the sweet spot. And you could kind of combo into them as well. You do down tilt for tech situations. So down tilt, read their tech roll. And if you read your roll correctly, you hit him with a forward smash, and that's a free stock. Or you do like jab into F smash or jab into side B at certain percents, and it just works out really well. And if you're not too acquainted with Roy, you do have a really cool sword where your sweet spot is near the hilt of the sword and not the tipper. So basically it means the closer you are to your opponent and you're hitting them with like closer to your sword, the more damage and knockback you'll do. Very cool. This is going to be the most brawler-esque Swordie. So if you do value a more fast-paced, aggressive playstyle, but you want to play someone that has a sword, check out Roy. He's really fun. And if you need some pros to watch, you can check out Cola, Goblin, or Alice. In second place, I put Cloud. So Cloud has access to one of the safest backers in the game. It is -3 on shield if spaced properly, and the range, the disjointed range on it is so ridiculous where like even if they do shield it, no one's gonna have a move that reaches far enough to punish back air in that speed. So it's a really great option that a lot of players have to respect and deal with when playing against Cloud. Not only that, Cloud has great mobility paired with his diverse combos. You do a landing aerial into a side B that racks up like 30% for free, just like that. Sorry, a voice crack there. That's not good. And lastly, Cloud has access to limit break. So once you fully charge your bar and you start glowing blue, you get buff stats. So you do a little bit more damage, you do a little bit more knockback, you weigh a little bit more, so it's harder for people to launch you off stage. And your run speeds or all your speeds are just a bit faster too. So you're just like a enhanced Cloud. Not only that, you have access to your dangerous special moves, so you unleash your limit break into a special move that all do very ridiculous damage or knockback. So down B is great for super high knockback. Side B is great for both damage and edge guarding. Limit break neutral B isn't just an upgraded blade beam. And your upgraded or limit break up B is great for recovery. But also you do it out of shield and might be able to take some stocks too. If you need a Cloud main to watch, if you need inspiration, you have Spargo, you have Cola, and you have Enhanced PV. All three of those players are phenomenal and great to watch if you want to pick up Cloud. And in first place, we have Aegis, aka Pyra Mythra. And the only reason why they're up here is not only do they have, just a great move kit in general, but the fact that you get 2 for 1 means that they both can cover each other's weaknesses very well. Mythra has access to insane speeds, incredible frame data, and ability to rack up damage. So you have your nair, you have your back air, you have down tilt, you have up tilt, you have side tilt, you have down throw. You have a lot of combo starters to work with here that just easily rack up damage. And not only does it rack up a lot of damage, but because Mythra is super fast, you could use your mobility to bob and weave between your opponent's hitboxes and just become untouchable. So not only are you just like a a damage demon, but you're making it so you're floating around them and it's just really hard to land a clean hit on Mythra. Once you get your opponent to like around like 100%, swap to Pyra because Pyra has access to long-lasting aerials that all have really powerful KO potential because of their high knockback, and most of her moves do feel like slightly larger compared to Mythra's. So it's easier to just throw out like spaced aerials just to scare people. Because when they're at 100, they don't want to get hit because they know that if they make one false move, they're gonna eat a Pyro forward air or a down air or an upper or like anything really, and they'll at worst or at best be knocked very far off stage, and you get an edge guard situation. Um, so Pyro's there to rack up damage, or Mythra's there to rack up damage. Then Pyro's there to clean it up, and you can swap back and forth to any occasion. So if you feel like your opponent has a hard time against Pyra, you play more Pyra that game. And if you know your opponent really hates playing against Mythra, just play Mythra the whole game because they're gonna be irritated and tilted the whole game. It's great. The only problem with Pyra Mythra that I do have to say is that she is pretty hard to use at a high level or in a tournament setting because if you get thrown off stage, your recovery is at best subpar, and if your opponent's able to snipe you out of that, you might not be able to make it back easily. So just be careful. Try to play more closer to the center of the stage to be safe. But besides that, this character is amazing. If you need some inspiration for Pyra Mythra, watch MKLeo, watch Cosmos, and watch Akola. They've all have great sets with this character and done a lot with this character, so check them out. All right, that was a lot, so we'll do our quick recap and we'll open the floor to Q&A. So today will be a profound guide on the top 5 Swordies to play in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We'll go over the ranking criteria and these 5 Swordies on why I think they're the best. I ranked everyone based on their pressure slash spacing options, their disjointed hitboxes, and their overall win conditions in the game. In 5th place, I put Corrin just because they have really simple and effective combo games, really great disjoints that's really hard to punish, a pretty decent recovery, and really good X Factor with forward smash and pin. In 4th place, I have Sora just because IDJ combos are terrifying with nair loops and fair loops, and just you have very tricky options to force on your opponent with your aerials. And lastly, your recovery and special moves are overall really good. In 3rd place, we have Roy. This is going to be the most brawler-esque Swordie out of the crew because you have really great speed and really great kill confirms to just clean up stocks like jab back air, and just high knockback moves like forward smash and side B. In 2nd place, I have Cloud because he has a -3 on shield back air with insane range, really good mobility, and everything gets enhanced when you get limit break active. And in 1st place, I have Pyra and Mythra because each character complements each other's strengths and weaknesses. So Pyra is able to clean up stocks, and Mythra is able to rack up damage. I would like to take this time to reiterate that if you're watching on YouTube, you can comment away for any questions, comments, concerns, opinions you'd like to share, literally anything, and I will respond. as soon as I can. And if you have the time, I would really appreciate if you consider subscribing and liking, just because that really does help grow this channel. And I want to do a lot more with this channel, and I can't do it without y'all. So please, please, please consider subscribing. It'll help out a lot. Thank you so much. Now we're going to go to the live Q&A session, but for YouTube, this is where I say thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.